Let's go. All right, Charles.
So we're going to give it, what, maybe 10 seconds?
Yeah, 10 seconds.
10, 9, 8,
So loud.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
Coming to you from the Poorly Painted Studios in Cumming, Georgia, this is the Chuck and Z Show. And now, here's Chuck and Z.
What up, everybody? Welcome to the Chuck and Z Show. Of course, I'm Chuck.
I'm Z.
And we've got producer Sharon with us this evening.
Hello.
And we have a special peanut gallery guest watching the podcast live in addition to Ellie today. My youngest daughter, Kendall, is going to be observing. It's good times. We'll do it live.
Yes.
Like literally, y'all. I wish I could show y'all what is going on right before we start this broadcast.
I panic.
It's just like chaos. I feel like Bill O'Reilly. We'll just do it live. We'll do it live.
But Chuck, you have all the knowledge in your brain. Like, you know how to fix it.
Well, that's a good place to keep it. I'm glad it's there.
I don't know. I mean, I think you're doing a great job as far as like teaching me how to learn a whole new program, but you're very patient with me and I appreciate that.
Well, before we really jump in, we've got several things we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to do a bike update. We're going to talk about the movie The Covenant that we saw. It's a Guy Ritchie movie about our trip to New York, moto camping. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. But before we get into that, I wanted to say thank you to Sharon because she does so much for us here on the podcast. And in addition to that, she's really concerned about our spiritual well-being. So about a year or so ago, Z and I were getting ready for bed one night and I cut off the stereo. And after I cut it off, I was walking away going towards the bathroom area and I heard a man's voice say, "Fuck you." And I went, and then I went, "Z," and she goes, "Did you hear that?" And I was like, "You heard that too?" So now I know this is confirmation. This was something that actually physically happened, right?
Yeah.
So I went and checked the stereo. It was still off. So I'm like, it's a little creepy, but it's probably some stuck artifact within the system, right? Mm-hmm. I tell Sharon this story. She goes, "It's a demon."
Your house is haunted.
Your house is haunted. There's a ghost in your home. And at first I was like, oh, that's kind of cute, funny or whatever. Sharon comes back the next time she's producing the show. And she's like, "Hey, hope you guys don't mind. I brought you some sage." I was like, "Sage? What is sage for?" She's like, "Well, spirits don't like it." And I'm like, okay. So we have sage in our house here, but it did give me the thought, what is it about sage? Like, all right, so you have these metaphysical beings, right? Mm-hmm. That have somehow beat death.
Girl.
They've beat death. And they're like, hey, so they're hanging out, these two ghosts, right? And they're like, "Yo, I want to go haunt this house." I was like, "Yo, bro, I saw this gray house the other day, but they had sage."
Stay away.
Telltale sign.
We can't go.
We can't cross the threshold.
They came in with sage. It's messed up my whole plan.
It smells like Thanksgiving when you burn it, though, just so you know.
So it's the sage. what is the metaphysical interaction here that eradicates the spirit?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could say the same thing for like crosses and
yes, I do say the same thing
like
for
blessed,
crosses.
Blessed chalk and
holy
salt
water
and holy water, blessed salt and holy water. So there is something regarding the sage smoke that the spirits it cleanses the spiritual.
I just want to make sure I'm clear here. They can walk through walls. they are not bound by normal physical things like eating or having to do things to sustain their existence, right? So they have this immense amount of power, but sage smoke.
I think that with intention. So if you say certain, like, I don't know if prayers are the right word, but like the intention of you leave this space. Yeah, they don't like it.
Be gone,
They don't.
spirit.
No,
Be
they
gone.
don't. They don't.
And they're like,
I was ready to bless your bedroom.
I know.
I live in this alternate dimension, but these guys over here got sage.
Yeah. So silly.
What do you think of that, Z?
About sage?
Yeah.
I mean, if you would have asked me
believe we're talking about this.
like 20 years ago, I probably would have been super into it because my mom was like into holistic healing and all this, you know, metaphysical, like the occult, like, you know, that type of thing. But I don't know, like as I've gotten older, I just feel like we have a lot more information that really kind of makes that type of situation just not real to me.
I get that. No, it's like, it's definitely a belief system.
Yeah.
Yes.
And ghost hunters who do this, that's part of something that's very normal, I suppose, for them. But I'm not a ghost hunter.
Right.
I just was like, there should be only good vibes in this.
So right, you did say that.
Yeah, there should only be good ones in here.
So,
oh no.
so I'm not a ghost hunter,
Right.
but I know a couple.
Oh.
Right. So I know some people that literally do it. And I'm like, yo, you've been doing this for what? 20 years now? Found a ghost yet? No ghost. No proof.
Do they debunk?
No, they go looking for ghosts. But all they can show me is some very specific, like Egon Spengler specialized ghost hunting equipment.
You knew his last name.
I know.
That
I was like,
that's like,
oh, that's Ghostbusters.
that's right. That's Ghostbusters.
I'm so impressed.
Something with aluminum foil on it, and it's like, oh my God, it picks up secret sounds in the room that nobody else get. Aluminum foil did it.
I want to believe. Like, I feel.
Oh, I'd rather that be true.
So I think that like so many people have had experiences, and like even myself, like my mom passed, I don't know, 15, almost 16 years ago, and I literally thought that I felt her presence in my bedroom at like 2:30 in the morning. I like woke up and I felt her presence come through the window and then sit on my bed. But I'm like, is that real, or is that just like something I want to have happen? Like, because I needed that comfort at that time.
Well, I don't, it's interesting because, I mean, this is such a topic that I'm fascinated by, and I have a lot of thoughts about them. But one of them is like when you have something that confirms it for you.
Yeah.
I mean, I did a psychic reading with, because my nephew passed away unexpectedly 2 weeks after he passed. And a very close friend of mine did this. And I had a phrase in my head that I asked my nephew to say. And I'm like, man, I'm going to have to go to another psychic if you don't say this, you know, like I'm going to have to move on. But he did. And I was the only one. It was only in my head. And he did say this exact phrase. So
that's crazy.
I don't know. That was really confirming to me. But that doesn't take much for me to believe either, you know? So I
also feel that
it would
like,
take a lot.
But okay. So how different is that ghosts from aliens?
A lot.
How?
Yeah, in what way?
Because they're physical manifestations that exist in our reality.
Yeah, but we don't know.
Wait. If a spaceship landed tomorrow with tigers, that makes sense. They're a physical being.
I get
right?
that.
That's a thing
But
that you don't have to go into the unknown to believe in aliens.
Yeah, we do, because we haven't physically had the opportunity to see an alien. It's just
you and I have.
No, but like
apparently the government has them.
Okay, yeah,
I heard that recently. This past
it's
week.
so crazy.
The vast majority of people haven't seen it, so it's a story, like a story at that point.
It's different though. I can fully believe in a biological creature evolving just like we did. I'm
All
here.
right.
I can believe that. Just like, okay, you believe dinosaurs were real, right? But you've never physically seen a dinosaur.
Right, but they've like
But who have you physically gone there and seen? No, you see you don't actually see their bones.
What were you saying? You see
what you don't see actual dinosaur bones.
Right.
What you see is a cast of the imprint that was left in a vacuum from where because the bone is completely gone and decomposed at this point, right?
Yeah, I know.
Isn't that how that works?
Yeah, I was a part of Zinj Kids.
I could be wrong about that.
And at Zinj, if anybody's watching and you know what Zinj is, come talk to me.
I guess.
But we were a group of kids who went out and went into like the ruins, and we would
like an archaeologist.
Yeah, and we would go and
that's really cool.
That is so cool.
Dust off, you know.
They have those at the museum where you can dust some rubber off of.
But this was in the wild.
Yeah, in Utah.
But
which Utah is like super.
All right, so maybe my point is that in the infinite space, I fully can believe mathematically that there would be another Goldilocks planet where life was able to evolve.
I get that.
And that we've only been here for a very brief period of time. Mm-hmm. If any of those species just happened to have evolved 2 million years before us, look at all that we've accomplished just in the last however long we've been here. So that makes sense. The thing that doesn't make sense to me is leaving a plane of existence, trying to explain what happens after death when it's physically not.
We don't know.
We don't know.
Exactly.
But
so that you could be right.
Okay.
Or
there have been ghost stories for all of history.
Correct. Yeah.
Not one shred of proof ever.
Okay.
Ever.
Okay. All right.
Ever.
Okay. Well, what about this, Chuck? I have a quick question about this. So all around the world, for as long as people have talked about ghosts, there have been very similar experiences, no matter what language, no matter what culture. It's the footsteps, it's the doors opening and closing. How do you explain that?
We're all terrified of death. We're all terrified of it. And we want to try to believe that we don't just blink out of existence. So the mind is a very powerful thing. Okay. I think that a lot of times we can manifest things that create a belief for ourselves. I remember as a kid being terrified of the devil, right? Because my parents, from the time I was a kid, had just be afraid of the devil. And if you think bad thoughts, the devil's going to come get you and you're going to burn in hell in a lake of fire and all that stuff, right? I heard that my whole childhood. And I remember laying in my bed one night having bad thoughts, as you are going to do as a natural human being. And I immediately thought, I remember thinking I heard a physical hiss in my room. I was that terrified that, this thing is going to come get me, because I just had a very natural thought. As an adult, I know it was a natural thought, but as a kid, I thought, this is terrible. It's bad. I'm not supposed to think this way.
Right.
So I think our brains can manifest things and convince us of things. I believe that. I believe that there are absolute documented cases of mass hypnosis. There are absolute documented cases of parallel thinking where two people had the exact same thought. I think we're terrified of death. We're constantly wanting to be special. And so I believe that
it's like a confirmation bias kind of thing.
Yes. I think that if you look hard enough, for instance, people say things like, well, this is quite a podcast. The sage got us going. But even when people say things like, I know God's real because I can feel him in my life. When? Give me specific examples. This coincidence happened and this coincidence happened and this good thing happened. Wait a minute. You've had a pretty rough life. Let's think about all the bad things in your life. Did you see him in those moments? Or is it only after the fact that you survive it, you can go, God got me through it? But I hear what you're saying. I just don't. I believe that this is something that we seek out. We seek meaning. We seek relevance. We don't want to believe that we're just a happy accident.
Well, do you believe that it comes from a place of wanting to feel special?
I think it comes from that. I think
it comes from a place of just not knowing.
I think you're right, not knowing and being terrified of it. I think people are scared. They're scared that this is awesome. This place is awesome. Our existence is awesome.
I don't think everyone's scared though. And I don't think that everybody that has those experiences are scared.
Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take our bikes and we're going to go on a ghost hunt.
Yeah.
And we're going to find proof for Chuck. And I will tell you this, that I have heard this theory that the people that are the most skeptical are the ones that have stuff happen to them. Mm-hmm. I've watched
I would agree with that.
Kendall's on board. She did a little nod over there. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to do that, actually. That would be so interesting to me. There's so many great historical places here in Georgia that would be so fun to visit.
So yeah, I will tell you the funny thing about it, though. Even though please bring sage. Although I absolutely don't believe in that when you die, there's a chance that your soul stays here and decides to fuck with people because they live in the house that you literally have no, anyways, literally makes no logical sense to me. But what was it? I was going to say something before that, but I still get scared. Like if I'm walking through a creepy place, I could fully believe maybe that like energy transfers, but consciousness is very difficult.
No, I believe in the energy side of things. I don't think conscious. Okay.
But energy.
Mm-hmm. And I think that everything that is a part of this world is based on a certain vibration. Right?
I believe in frequency. Yes.
Every single thing has a frequency, has a vibration.
Yes.
So I think that maybe there is a different vibration or a different frequency when you pass over into wherever that is when you die.
Okay. I 100% believe that. Even matter, like physical things have a certain frequency to them. Atoms have a frequency. So everything exists on a frequency, but that's a scientific principle. Right. So if you're trying to tell me that, oh, you go to the Comedy Store and it feels funny in there because a lot of people laugh. Okay. That's a transference of energy, a physical thing.
Yeah.
I get that. It's the moment when you go, no, it's supernatural that I check out.
Okay. Well, how's about that?
And this house hasn't been around long enough for there to be that much negative energy. So
what if it's built on it?
But Georgia.
I was going to say, this is like Cherokee Indian County. And
it's like Amityville Horror. We're on a burial ground.
I mean, Poltergeist.
There was some wars that were fought on this land. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Like people can go out into their backyards and shovel up like Civil War relics.
Amityville Horror level of proof. I'm in. Right? I hear Get Out.
He put it in the universe, you guys.
When I hear Get Out and then something pushes me and I can't find a source. All right. Cool. I'm leaving.
I definitely think that this should be maybe like in September or October, just in time for Halloween. Yeah. We ride our bikes somewhere.
Let's go.
Somewhere historic. You can bring your ghost hunty friends.
Yeah. I already told you, Rome has this amazing cemetery.
Myrtle Hill Cemetery is gorgeous.
What? Why are we not planning this right now? I would love to go.
We allegedly, see how you do that?
Yeah. Allegedly?
We allegedly rode our motorcycles to the top.
That's the video.
Allegedly, a couple of times.
Video.
The alleged video.
Awesome.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts on that, though, and I really appreciate the shout out. I did not know you were going to do that.
Well, look, I think that obviously you and I talk about this kind of stuff, and I thought it might be a good topic to get into.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, so you want to do a bike update?
No, I want to do.
She said no.
Not yet. That's the best for last.
Okay. All right. What do you want to talk about?
So we went to New York City, NYC. We took our 21-year-old son to New York for the first time. It was his first time. I hadn't been in like 14 years. Chuck hadn't been in maybe 20, 21 years.
Been a long time.
So we went for Memorial Weekend, and it was a blast. It was so much fun. A lot to do, and we didn't do half the things.
No. Walked everywhere.
We walked everywhere. We did about 6 miles a day walking, which is crazy.
6 miles? David Goggins is like, what?
But I mean, walking for 6 miles.
Yeah, no, it's something else.
I don't walk that. I don't know. I don't typically walk that much in a day. Typically in my car or on a bike. So, that was fun. We went to the Empire State Building, saw that. It was better than the Coca-Cola factory here in Atlanta. I know I'm hating on the Coca-Cola factory, but the Coca-Cola factory is just like a big commercial for Coke.
That's what it is.
Yeah. But, going from the moment you get through the doors to get to the Empire State Building, it's just like amazing.
Yeah, it's very different. So I've been to the Empire State Building once before, and the experience wasn't
the
this.
same.
It was, you went in, there was, maybe somebody told you a few things about it, and then you just kind of went up to the observatory and you walked around. This thing had displays and exhibits and videos playing, and a really cool little room where it looked like they had screens up, and it looked like King Kong was walking around you, hanging onto the building and stuff.
Yeah.
It was really, really cool. I really enjoyed it. I was actually like, all right, got to the top of a building. But it was really cool.
And the views were amazing.
They were. It's a very different view. The last time I was there, the Twin Towers were up.
Yeah.
And so it was the Twin Towers. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it was a different skyline this time, which was a little weird to see.
Yeah.
It's been a minute, but yeah, it was a really cool view, and you could see everything. It was a clear day. None of that smoke like they're dealing with now.
I know. And we're having some of the haze too here in Georgia.
Crazy.
But, and then, we were basic, New York City tourists.
Absolutely. White shoes and everything.
So we went. What do you mean white shoes and everything?
It's stupid to wear white shoes walking around New York.
Oh.
I mean, like, they're destroyed.
You didn't have Crocs on with socks or whatever?
No, I didn't do that. I did have my handy, my sling bag.
Yeah.
Totally looked like a tourist, like I was carrying a camera and all that.
It's very helpful and handy.
It is. You should get a sling bag. They're awesome.
Yeah. And so we did the Empire State Building. We did Times Square, of course. That was cool.
We went.
How big the buildings are.
It's so crazy.
You just feel like you're so small as a person. It's just.
And even in Atlanta, like if you're in the very heart, dead middle of downtown Atlanta, you're maybe 4 stops from some trees.
Yeah.
And a bunch more. Yeah. Right? You're 4 corners. You'll be out of Atlanta.
Yeah.
Right? You'll be
pretty fast.
Yeah, you'll be out of it. There, when you look down those long streets, trees. You don't see the end of the buildings.
Yeah.
So it's a very interesting feeling growing up where I grew up, being in that kind of environment.
But it was cool to take our son for the first time, and the fact that
21,
he got to experience that, and we got to connect on a different level, more as an adult this time. That was cool. And we had drinks, and it was fun. Central Park, pedicabs, it was like it's like you're in Mexico or in a tour, like a real touristy place where people are just, hey, you want to get on the bus? Like, pay $30 to get on this bus, and like these people that are wanting to, like the caricatures that are out on the street.
Z made a mistake. We were going into Times Square, and Minnie Mouse, who didn't even have her head on.
Just a normal person.
I mean, just like it was Minnie Mouse's body with a normal person's head, holds her hand out to Z, and Z grabs it and stops. I was like, oh no. Because within like 5 seconds, she had Spider-Man, Miles Morales, Optimus Prime. I mean, there's like 40 guys in costume, like, hey, picture. And it's
Batman.
Like, so I'm literally dragging her out, like, you can't stop. You can't stop. It's like The Walking Dead. You got to keep going.
Yeah. They almost had me.
They almost had her. Saw the Naked Cowboy.
Yeah. Do you remember the Naked Cowboy? He's been out there for like 20 something years. This dude's still, and he's in shape.
It was crazy. I was embarrassed. I was like, damn,
tight.
Dude. He's like, do you eat?
Chuck was like, is that the original Naked Cowboy?
That dude been doing this 25 years, still looking like that.
He still looks amazing.
Almost turned you, Chuck.
Well, no. I mean, nothing against it.
No, right, of course,
but definitely not.
Yeah. So amazing pizza, amazing Italian. Like every restaurant was Italian. I was like, we walked down the street. All right, So just so you guys know, our go-to meal, and our kids know this and they get annoyed sometimes, but is Mexican food.
I love it.
I love a good margarita. I love some great tacos or fajitas or some enchiladas.
I'm hungry.
You know what I mean? So I'm like Googling like, what's a good Mexican? So we were all down probably on Lower Manhattan, and we were trying to get back up. And I'm like, what's a good Mexican restaurant? And this was on a Sunday where there wasn't a lot open for some reason. But we walked miles to go to this great Mexican restaurant. It was really cute. It's called Mad Dog and Beans.
So good.
They had the best margaritas. I like to get spicy margaritas.
Like jalapeno?
Like jalapeno.
Okay.
So yummy.
I don't. I like super sugary.
Yeah, he likes strawberry frozen.
Frozen strawberry margarita.
And
yes,
then
with tahini on the rim.
Oh.
Yeah. And then the son got a nice frozen mango margarita.
It was so good too. That was good.
I had to get one of those. It was delicious.
Yeah.
And then we had some great tacos, and then we walked back. It was a great vacation because we got up in the morning, did some walking, and then came back to the room in the afternoon, took a nap, and then got up, to
Perfect.
go for dinner.
I know it's going to be super cliche, but the absolute best pizza I've ever had.
Yeah.
There's this place called Suprema, which I'm sure people are like, oh, it's not even the best one in New York. But it was incredible. I thought it was great.
How do you choose? Like, how do you
There's
decide in New York what's the best of the best, right?
Truth.
I mean, and even that place, it was a line out the door.
Out the door.
But then you stop at another place, another line out the door. I'm like, dang.
Don't they all say that they're the world's best?
They always say that.
It is good. Every sign. World's best.
Yeah. But what I liked about this pizza spot was that they only do pizza.
Oh, wow.
Like no sides, no nothing.
You're like, subs, get the shit out of here.
Calzones, get out of here.
We do pizza.
And oh my gosh, I had a soup Nazi experience at that pizza spot. Like literally trying to decide what I want. What do you want? Get line moving. You either get it or you don't. Like, let's go. I'm like, damn, chill out, man.
She's like, you're harsh in my
bless
vibe.
Your heart or anything.
She's like, you're harsh in my vibe, dude.
What if you went up with a Southern accent and you were just like, I just don't know.
That was my first experience in New York.
He would get annoyed as crap.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, this dude was like,
there's
not
so
playing
much
games.
here to decide from.
Yeah.
He's like, well, move to the back of the line because I got
go
customers
back to your state and come back when you have a decision. My first time going to New York, I had one of those true out of place experiences because when you grow up like in Swansea, South Carolina, you see New York in movies. It's like it might as well be The Shire, right? It might as well be something out of a Tolkien book. I mean, it's basically the same thing. But when you go there, it's like, oh my God, this place is so crazy. So you have all these things in your head that you saw in movies or read about. Like, I got to get a hot dog. Everybody stops at the street vendors and gets a hot dog, which I found out later. People were like, you don't do that. But I did. So I stopped at the street vendor and I was like, he hands me, first of all, it wasn't what I'm used to as a hot dog. It's a much thicker hot dog. It's like a big hot dog. That's what she said.
Was it a bratwurst?
You knew that was it's like a brat, right? So it's like first it's like a sausage, right?
Sausage. Daddy, would you like some sausages?
So it's a good pull. So I'm already a little out of whack with it, right? Because it's not
like,
all right.
What kind of hot dog is this?
All right. Can I get some chili? And the guy literally looked at me like, what? I was like, chili for my hot dog. You don't eat a hot dog without chili on it. He's like, yeah, we don't do that. And I was like, what can I get on my hot dog? He's like, ketchup, mustard, sauerkraut. I was like, I don't like any of that.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to eat this plain hot dog and bread. That's anyways. So total just had all these things that I thought were going to be so cool. And then like, I had to go to Central Park.
Yeah.
Had to eat at Tavern on the Green.
Wow. Did you?
I did.
Not this time.
As an adult, later in life, I was like, the juice isn't worth the squeeze.
I mean, but we did have a great Italian dinner. on the second night. And then we went and we saw a Yankees game, which was really cool. And the Yankees won. They were playing San Diego Padres. So that was amazing. And I guess with I guess they have new rules in baseball now. It wasn't 4 hours long.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was much faster,
it was like 2.5.
snappier. One of the things that always irritated me about baseball were the long delays, and the batter will walk into the box, swing a couple times, then get out.
Yeah, and
tie
then go
his
back
shoes, then go back in. I'm like, can we
pop
just
his gum?
What are we doing?
Can we just?
Could you swing the bat? Anyways, so now they have a clock. So the pitcher has to get his 25 seconds, just kind of like you have a 25 second play clock. It really kept the game moving. I was like, this is a better experience than the last time I was at a baseball game.
Yeah,
so I liked it.
So
the Yankees had an amazing, what was it, fourth inning where they just like score like 5 runs. Everybody was like cheering and having a great time. It was awesome.
Yeah.
They won. It was a good game. I got my big old Yankees pendant.
Oh yeah, I see.
Yeah.
You see it.
Yeah. And I got a Murderer's Row hat, which Murderer's Row, everybody knows what that is.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, I've never. What is Murderer's Row?
It's a famous group of Yankees.
Oh, I was going to say, is it a row where they did murders?
They were
I know.
killers.
It does seem like it's bad,
That was kind of it. They were
like
killers.
Babe Ruth and DiMaggio, all those guys.
They killed it.
They killed it.
Oh, they killed it. Okay.
They were murdering. Dang. I need a drink on that.
But what was really cool about New York too was that, obviously through social media, we've made a lot of connections with a lot of different people. And one creator, influencer, moto vlogger in particular, we reached out, and he lives in Brooklyn, and he's FXDLS Brooklyn on Instagram and on YouTube. So check him out.
I will.
He does a lot of different moto vlogs about different things. So very interesting. His bikes are amazing. And he met us out in Brooklyn. So we took an Uber to Brooklyn, but then we took the subway back. That was really fun because I wanted to have a subway experience as well.
Which I don't understand.
I love the subway. I'm just sorry, but I love being in that environment around a lot of different people. I just like people watching.
I guess I'm just a buzzkill with a lot of things. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, you guys.
Because
he's like looking at
she's like, let's go ride the subway. And I was like, why? And she's like, to have the experience. I was like, of dirty, stinky people. What experience are we having? I didn't understand. Like, it's not I don't go, I want to go get in a tube with, right?
Yeah, but it's cool just to see like how the subway system is. The Grand Central Station, Penn Station, where the arena is, that's really cool. It just, the architecture, very, very the history, like I'm picturing Gangs of New York, and just how it went from being nothing to like these huge high rises and like some of the tallest buildings in the world there in New York. And people experience this on a daily basis. Now, would I want to live there? No. I don't know. I like being able to detach myself from a city environment. I love the terrain and like what we have here in Georgia, how we have the city, and I don't have to go down to the city all the time to have fun, right? And then you have the burbs, and then we have our great mountains and nice country roads. So I love the setup here, but to experience it every once in a while, it's pretty amazing. But we did do some photos and things like that. So Brooklyn was like one of my favorite parts.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
It's just so real. It's a row of nothing but murals, art, graffiti, what we used to call tagging back in the day. It's really cool.
Is that you used to tag?
No, I didn't use to tag, but that's what we used to call it.
I know what you're saying.
I don't think they call it that anymore. I'm not sure.
That's probably like these old people.
I know.
Okay, boomer.
All right. How old are you? 60.
I know, right? But no, I love the fact that they've just embraced what we would originally call graffiti, but it's real art. Like some of these murals are insane. They're so pretty and they're so well done. And yeah, I loved it. And it was just road after road of it. So I thought it was gorgeous. And I don't know if a lot of people would see it that way, but I found it to be beautiful.
I did. Yeah, for sure.
We got to do a lot of cool stuff in New York. I really enjoyed going back. I really enjoyed all the places that we visited. One of my favorite things that we did was we went to Times Square during the day on a Wednesday, I believe. Thursday. And then we went back on Saturday night. And the difference in the mass of people. I mean, it's just shoulder to shoulder. So many people and so much variety, so many different types of things going on all at once. They had the Navy band there. There were so many because of Memorial Day weekend. There were so many Navy guys there, all buddied up like they're supposed to be.
It's like a movie.
Yeah. And then they were playing. The Navy band was playing in Times Square that night. Yeah. It was awesome.
They had a band, the Navy band.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And then that guy was actually the guy that sang the national anthem at the Yankees game.
What are the chances?
I know, it's crazy.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that was fun. And then, all the street dancers, the break dancers, the people like covered. There was just one guy that was covered in like silver and he acted like a statue. Yeah. That was fun.
What do they call that guy? I think they call him the statue. I think that's what they call him.
Okay.
He's a famous, or unless he's franchised.
And he was posing like,
just totally still. He's the same guy that guy. There's a famous video, if it's him, of a guy that's standing there and he's in silver paint. So I think it's him where he's standing there and the guy keeps messing with him.
Yeah.
And he ends up, the guy like licks his finger and sticks it in his ear. And the only movement this statue dude makes is just a right cross. And then he goes right back.
Knocked him out.
And then goes right back. I guess he didn't think the guy was going to hit him, but I was like, yeah, that's what you get.
I know.
Well, the guy's working. Leave this guy alone. Let him do his thing.
That's what you get.
Yeah, that's like when the people go up and like mess with the guards at the palace.
Yeah,
in London.
The Grenadier Guards.
Yeah,
Buckingham Palace.
I saw one of those videos the other day. I don't know if it was. I don't know if it was that, but they were doing their parade on their horses.
Yeah,
and some lady walked out in front to take a picture, and they just went right over her.
They don't care.
They didn't. And then they're yelling at her like she's an idiot. Like, get out of the way, which she kind of is. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of dumb, but it was just like no concern.
Right.
Like, right. Whereas here, they were like,
ma'am, please move.
We protest.
Right. And then if you run over, like, those guards need to be stopped.
Defund the horse patrol.
Yeah. So that was your favorite moment?
Going downtown and seeing all that. Obviously, we all got to spend a lot of great time together, and it was cool being there with you and Ocean. And I really enjoyed the frozen old-fashioned at Tommy Bahama. We had some great food overall. Mm-hmm. One bad experience.
Our last night, unfortunately. We never made it to Chinatown,
which I was disappointed in. I really wanted to go.
One day we were close, but then we ended up having different plans, and we didn't make it. So we stayed in Midtown and close to the Empire State Building. So there was a lot of restaurants around, and I'm like Googling like what's the Chinese because I was like let's just try New York Chinese. Apparently,
there's one right around the corner.
Amazing. There's one around the corner.
Yeah.
We go in, it's like a speakeasy type little situation where you don't see how big the place is. And
it's actually gorgeous.
And it's nice.
You walk in, you're gorgeous. And I do have a rule. I don't know how appropriate it is, but if I walk into a place where
like an ethnic type of,
it's a very specific type of like if you go into an Italian restaurant, there's a lot of Italians there. It's a good sign. If you go into, a Mexican restaurant and there's a lot of Hispanics there, good sign, right?
Right.
So we went into this place and there were a lot of Asian people in the restaurant. As a matter of fact, we were the exception by far. And as we're walking in, I was like, oh, this is going to be so good. This is going to be so good. I bet we just found a secret. I bet we just found a place that nobody else knows about. This is going to be the best Chinese food we've ever had. And it was the absolute worst Chinese food I've ever had. It was not good at all. Like bad.
The fried rice was amazing.
Fried rice. Okay. But how hard is that? It's fried rice.
It's rice.
I mean,
rice.
That should be perfected by now. We got that.
Yeah. I don't understand what it was, but it just wasn't what I was used to. And maybe it was because I've lived in the South for so long and the places here make it a specific way, or maybe it's just that particular restaurant. But he ordered like a 3-pepper chicken meal or, dish.
Which I've had before. I expect it to be spicy. Yeah. I expect it to be peppery. I don't expect to go and see pepper float off of it. There was so much pepper on it. It's like the bottle broke. Yeah. Just, shit. He won't know.
It had to do with peppercorn. You know what I mean? Like when you put too much peppercorn, too much chili, it's just...
It was like a dry rub laid on top of this chicken.
Yeah.
Just making sense.
Yeah. So, nice.
And then I was like, all right, well, you guys got Kung Pao. Can't mess that up, right? It's pretty good. And then I see them struggling with it, and I was like, oh, snap. It must not be good either. So then I tried, and I was like, why is this chicken like rubber?
Yeah.
It's like the rubber. And then we saw Camille and
yeah, we actually got to see another couple of our moto friends, Camille and Chelsea.
Yeah. And they're like, it was Chelsea's from New York.
They both live there. They live in Staten Island.
And she's like, it's probably rat.
Or cat. I was like, damn.
It's like, Greg, I didn't see a lot running around.
Yeah, we didn't see a lot of rats.
I expected to see more.
You know what's something else that's interesting about New York City? It's at night, every night, doesn't matter. They'll have trash bags on the street. Like
on the street.
They'll take their trash and put it right in front of their building. And I'm like, that is not attractive at all.
Well,
they don't have dumpsters.
And I think the reason why, and I could be wrong, but it made sense to me that
when you walked around the corner
and you walk around and you see a homeless guy ripping one of the bags open, you're like, oh, they probably would break the trash cans. They'd probably end up, the infrastructure would be so costly because they would destroy these trash cans to get what's in these bags.
Yeah. So I guess they just, or maybe they do it to help them. I don't know. Maybe it's part of the social, maybe it's a part of like some kind of.
That is like very altruistic and fucked up at the same. Leave the trash out. So don't make it hard for them to get the trash.
The bags are not like, they're like loosely tied. But yeah, New York was cool. A lot of people, like if you walk down, you'll hear 10 different languages at any given time. It's like, I wish I had like Google Translate on so I can understand what everyone was saying. Because other than Spanish and English, like,
it could be anything.
I don't know what you're talking about. You talking about me?
Look at this gorgeous woman. That's what they were saying.
That's what it was. That's what it always is.
It always is.
So yeah, New York was great. And then we did a moto camping trip.
Yeah. So last weekend, so the Leaders Atlanta, it's a group we're part of, Sharon and I, and we do a annual camping trip every summer with our significant others, and other people come, just come and hang out. And it's grown in numbers over the years, so that's really cool. This is our 3rd year that we actually did it. And so we had a lot of fun. We rode up to Cherokee, North Carolina, and stayed at Yogi in the Smokies, which is a part of Camp Jellystone, which they have a lot of different. I didn't even realize that there were so many different.
So many camps.
Yeah,
there's so many.
It's like KOA. Yeah. So we did that on Friday last week. Rode down and set up camp. Had a great time, and then we rode in the morning. We went to Wheels Through Time in Maggie Valley, and then we rode the Rattler, which is right up north of Maggie Valley. It's a really cool ride. A lot of twists, like over 234 twists and turns.
So it's very similar to the Tail of the Dragon in that way?
Actually, no.
Oh, how different was that?
It's not as technical.
Why are you so indignant? No. Anytime someone brings up the dragon, you're like, ah.
I wasn't sure because I knew it did have a lot of turns, and we did the Tail of the Dragon. I was so happy to accomplish that last year.
Yeah.
But I was wondering how it compared.
It was easier.
Oh, the Rattler was?
Yeah. It's like they weren't as close in proximity to each other. The turns. Back, but there was one turn that I was leading the group, and I totally misjudged it. I was in too high of a gear. I had to gear down a couple of times, but I actually went into the other little crap. Because you didn't know it's like a sneaky, real tight turn, and I just wasn't expecting it.
Wow.
So, but it was fun. We made it back in one piece.
I was
and
so
unfortunately,
jealous. Yeah, I was jealous.
Unfortunately, Chuck did not get to ride his motorcycle. So he was
so disappointed
following us in the back in the TRX because he has, a shoulder back issue.
Yeah, I've got a shoulder impingement or something going on. And as much as I wanted to ride, I want this to heal up so that I can be ready for Sturgis. So I did not ride.
Right.
I will say, if you have to swing through the mountains in something other than a motorcycle, TRX isn't a bad option. It was a lot of fun. I had a good time, but I would much rather be on two wheels. And I was super jealous. I was watching the corners going, oh my God.
No, I missed you being there right beside me.
Yeah.
So
you guys,
it was
so cute.
Is it great? I really enjoy the camping trips. I mean, it's nice to get out. I get up early in the morning, have a cup of coffee, get out by the stream.
And our girl Ash on the first night made some great carne asada.
Oh my God, she killed it.
It was so good.
It lasted to Sunday.
It did.
She made some. She made a lot. I think she made all the carne asada.
We overestimated the numbers.
But we had that for like breakfast.
Yeah, and then dinner the next night.
I think the best part is the memories. Really, you make some really wonderful memories and you laugh about things. And then the next time you see each other, you're like, oh my God, that was so fun.
Telling stories, talking about.
Yeah. Sitting around a campfire, just, shooting the crap, talking stories, telling about I feel like we bond and we get to know each other on a different level rather than, because most of the time it's we go on a ride.
Yeah.
Go and eat and you chit chat there, but it's not an extended period of time where you're there in that person's presence for a long time and getting to know them on a deeper level.
Right. And bike night as well. It's not really conducive to having deep conversations.
No.
Yeah.
Not with DJ Labonita with on the
Labonita.
ones and twos. She's
amazing.
Know,
right? She's killing it.
And there were so many bikes at bike night.
It was a big turnout.
The most I think I've ever seen.
Really?
Yeah.
It was a huge turnout. Yeah.
I think our November bike night was pretty big because that was the last one of the season last year. And we had, the axe throwing and all of that. Were you there?
I wasn't, and I don't know why.
Oh, that's why. Okay. But yeah, this one was great. And I love the support we're getting from different groups, local groups here in Georgia, because it's just a good time. It's a hang. Come out, have some good
all the
food.
different bikes.
And
how many different bikes do you
so
think
many
we
different
saw?
types of bikes. And I think that's one of the things that I really dig about it is it's always a good vibe. No one's really there trying to cause problems.
Right.
And there's so many different types of bikes. Like my boy Billy brought out his old Harley that's like the first year they had an electric ignition.
Yeah, the electric glide.
Yeah, that bike. And then all the way out to, I think someone had a Grom. Then someone had a CBR race bike and just
we
insane.
had R6s. Mm-hmm. We had Ducatis.
Pan America there?
We had Pan America.
Just all kinds of bikes. Yeah.
Yeah. I think we're getting a lot more sport bikes too, which is cool.
Yeah, I noticed that. There's a lot of sporty guys going around.
Yeah. So that was actually on Wednesday. So we did the camping trip last weekend, and then this past Wednesday we had bike night at Jimmy's Tequila and Carnes in Doraville. So if you're out, it's the first Wednesday of every month, 7 p.m. to 9, and we just hang out and have a good time. So
yeah.
But I do want to tell you guys that I actually got to see Cali 2.0 in person today.
How was it?
Amazing.
She's beautiful. It's a beautiful bike.
It's as great. She's as great as she looks in pictures. So I know that I haven't really been showing her off and like giving any kind of, because I love the suspense and I love to build it up. But I don't want to like get you guys disappointed with the way she looks. When I finally she's like, make the great reveal.
Let's see how this turns out before I show anyone.
I know.
Is it emotional when you see her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's like, oh my gosh, she's actually coming together.
I can only imagine.
I know it sounds crazy, right? But you go back to, I remember when we were sitting around, we first decided we were going to do this and we put out our parts list. These are the things we want.
Yeah.
Right. These are and then the journey to making sure all of those parts happened. And then not thinking they're going to happen because they're on back order, and then figuring it out and getting the part and working out deals. I mean, when you're building them, it's going to probably be a minute before I would want to do this kind of build again. I think I want to do a chopper next.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're building them out like this, you've literally selected pretty much everything on the bike. So it feels very personal.
Yeah. Because it's, when you get a bike, brand, like a bike off the showroom. It's stock. It's everything that Harley wanted to do with that bike. It's not customized to you at all. And you can ride a stock bike. There's no problem with riding a stock bike. But I've kind of been spoiled a little bit with the customizations and then the engine upgrades and,
a little bit.
Yeah, a little
bit.
A lot of it?
A lot of it.
A lot of it. Am I too high maintenance?
No,
what are you trying to say?
I know.
No, we're very fortunate and very lucky to have been able to do the things we've done with our motorcycles.
And honestly, I was actually looking back at pictures of Black Mamba, which was the 883 that I started out on, and I did not know any different, right? And I didn't know any different because I really wasn't worried about any of the aesthetics to a degree. It was the perfect bike. It had everything that I wanted. Now, and then I did little customizations here and there to it, like the Vance & Hines long shots and the Vance & Hines air breather. And, I got different bars. I got the Z bars on there, and I had the wheels finally done with the white, the white walls. And I had a sissy bar on there. But that was like the extent of the customizations on Black Mamba. And now when I look at another...
We did a tuner.
Yeah, and we did a tuner. Yeah.
Did you say exhaust?
Mm-hmm. I just didn't say tuner. But now when I look at someone on a 883, I'm like, I know exactly like what the possibilities that bike can have. You know what I mean? Like you can upgrade the engine, you can do this and that, put a cam in there, make it faster. That comes to mind now that I'm knowledgeable about the different things that you can do. But before I was oblivious and didn't really care. I just wanted to ride. And I still don't really care and I want to ride. But because I can, I'm going to go ahead and make it special. Make it special. So what I wanted to do, you guys, is to give you guys a real sneak peek of
20,000 sneak peeks. This is Chuck and Z sneak peek.
Number 5.
Cali 2.0. Episode 25.
Okay. So this is the skateboard that our custom painter did for me. So the custom paint job that's on Cali.
Right. So when he does his paint jobs, he does a proof of the concept on a skateboard, and then he gives you the skateboard. That's really, really cool.
Yeah. So I'm going to turn this over, and you guys are going to see what Cali is going to look like.
Ooh. Oh, Z, it's so pretty.
It's hot. Like in person, like I've seen this on the bike. It's hot.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's
oh
nice.
My gosh, you're going to stand out so special when you're riding. Like no one's going to have a bike like that.
So that's Cali. And I didn't mean to match with her, but I kind of do today with the neon because it's a fade, obviously, of the yellow. And what's really cool about this paint is there's no other colors other than the Billard teal and the fade. Okay. Now he did other covers overlaying with the graphics, but this is the yellow faded into the Billard teal, and it makes that green highlight, like the fade.
Yeah, the yellow is called highlighter yellow.
Amazing. I'm so excited. I'm like literally so excited.
It's gorgeous. Like, and on the bike, it looks amazing.
Yeah.
And I like how they incorporated the Z into it. Oh. So like if you look at design, you can see this Z pattern here.
Wow.
That actually flows across the bike. It is really, really short. I think it looks great.
Yeah. I'm super, super excited. So it's still from the back. She looks subtle.
Unassuming.
Unassuming is what I said earlier. But when you see her from the sides, she's freaking boss.
But the thing is, the people that know will know.
Yeah.
When they see that bike from behind, they'll know. First of all, they'll know, that looks like that is a carbon fender.
Yeah.
They'll know that. Then they'll see, which is literally, you can't even buy them anymore. The progressive shocks you got.
Yeah.
You can't even buy them.
Right. They don't make those anymore.
They don't make them. And so I saw those on the bike today, and they look incredible. So again, the things that you've done to the bike, the people that know will know, but from the back, your average guy is gonna be like,
that's a billet teal.
Oh, the billet teal.
But honestly, but really, because it's an ST, they don't make the ST in billet teal. So that's what's also cool and unique.
When do we get to see it finished?
I think we have another week of
about a week
stuff. So we still have to get the front of the fairing on. And then my pegs and then some other stuff. So we're just waiting on a few parts. But.
She did a mid conversion. So she brought the pegs back a little bit.
Yeah. Because like on the road glides, they automatically have the front forward controls.
Okay, got you.
Yeah. And I wanted to go a little bit
sportier.
More mid front.
Does it feel sportier to you?
It does.
Okay.
I mean, and it looks sportier. Right, babe?
Oh yeah. It looks great.
With the chopped fender in the back, with the
we'll
short bags.
That's so cool.
And that pipe.
We're going to have to toast.
Yes.
Yeah.
After you get off.
The pipe is going to patina really well.
Yeah. I have the Trask stainless pipe.
Oh, wow.
So it's fun.
Yeah, it's
fun
2-in-1. It's nice.
Fun stuff.
Chop bags, chop fenders. The carbon fiber wheels look amazing.
Yeah.
They look so good.
Yeah. With the Lindell rotors.
I cannot wait to see that bike. I'm hoping, right? I've seen my skateboard.
Yeah, he has one too, guys.
I've seen my skateboard, but I haven't seen it on the bike. The bike is actually in painting now. I saw so all my fenders, they're carbon fiber, and I wanted them to candy coat those with a black, and I saw that today. Yeah. It looks so good.
It does. So your fenders are true carbon fiber, like the paint.
Yeah. So yours are carbon fiber, but we primed them and painted over them so that they would be a uniform billet teal across the bike.
Right.
On mine, since mine is tough guy black, which actually technically it's a little bit, it's a pearl black now. So they've got a little bit of a pearl in it. So when the light hits it, it shines.
Okay.
Since mine was that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be nice.
It's going to be nice.
Tough guy black.
Tough guy.
So I wanted my carbon to be, so when it's not in the sunlight, it's going to look jet black.
Yeah.
But like when the sunlight hits it, you can see that carbon print underneath it.
It's going to be all sparkly glowy.
All sparkly glowy.
Just like you, Chuck.
Yes.
That's me. Sparkly glowy.
Tough guy.
I want that as under my bio. Sparkly glowy.
Yeah. So we're excited. And so hopefully another week. I'm crossing my fingers and my toes. But and then we're waiting on Chuck's paint to get done.
Did you see how much clearance my bike has?
His bike is so high. He has like 8.5 inches of clearance off the ground.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. Like he's gonna.
So hers is
6
stock height which is, I think mine had 2.5 inches more of clearance. Yeah, it's tall.
Yeah.
It's a tall girl.
For sure.
She's got some legs.
I can't wait to talk about it on the show with you all, how you like riding them.
Yeah. I can't wait to stretch them. I can't wait.
If you missed this episode, you missed seeing Callie.
Oh, no, right?
Callie Volume.
Call your friends. Tell them they missed it.
Hide your kids, hide your wife. Z's in town on Cali 2.0. No, it's gonna be fun. I'm excited. And thanks to the guys at Killer Creek. Jorge, Keith, Josh,
killing
all
it.
You guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
But ready to wrap it up?
Yeah, I think that'll do it for this week. Super excited about how the podcast is going. Thank you so much to all the new subscribers, all the folks that have been joining lately, and all the support we've gotten on Instagram and other social media platforms. Truly appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoy it. We love doing it, so we're going to keep doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So might as well show up.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Remember, like and subscribe.
Don't forget.
Tell your friends. Subscribe. We're only 105.
Tell strangers.
We're only 105 subscribers from 1,000, guys.
Yeah.
So
it's a big deal.
Please. I'll get on it.
All right.
All right.
Take care. We'll see you guys next week.
Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.